Today's story is an adaptation from The Athletic. If you like it, go and subscribe at theathletic.co.uk/Tifo Football to read more stories that you won't find anywhere else. Burnley's academy has been on an upward trajectory since Jon Pepper took charge in September 2016. It was a challenge that the 47-year-old Pepper wanted to take on. He had previously been academy manager at Bradford City and an academy coach at Nottingham Forest. With Burnley's promotion to the Premier League came an emphasis on developing the academy and from his previous role. Under the Elite Player Performance Plan initiative introduced in 2012, clubs in England are given a ranking of 1 to 4 based on productivity rates, training facilities, quality of coaching, education, and their welfare provisions. Pepper inherited a Category 3 club, but by the summer of 2017, Burnley were a Category 2 club. Productivity of the players was quite poor, he told The Athletic. Since Jay Rodriguez, who made his debut in 2007, the club hadn't really had anybody properly come through other than a few appearances here or there. 1 or 2 have gone to other clubs. For Burnley to be entering the Premier League with such a poorly performing academy, it made the club realise that they needed to do something. And they did do something. In January 2016, construction began on a new £12 million training facility in Barnfield. And when it opened in 2017, with Pepper already at the helm, it moved his academy alongside the first team and the club's staff to a new base which included pitches and an indoor playing surface, as well as state-of-the-art support facilities which catered to the club's coaching, medical, rehabilitation and educational needs. And Pepper takes pride in every one of the players who are part of the academy. There's Lewis Richardson, a striker turned 17 in February and has just signed his first professional contract. He was on the bench in Burnley's 3-1 Carabao Cup defeat to Sunderland this season. Joe McGlynn earned a Scotland Youth International call-up this season, and Max Thompson too, who was signed this year from Everton. It's part of the recruitment strategy, Pepper explained, on the decision to sign Thompson. We've got big clubs in and around us, and they might be churning out big numbers of players, and a lad might not be playing. Max wasn't getting a lot of games at Everton, and he's come in and thrived. We try and make sure all the lads play. Our players go out on work experience to non-league clubs, so there's always a game every week for 99% of the boys. There are usually 2 games a week for schoolboys. The club have also restructured recruitment since the arrival of technical director Mike Rigg in November 2018. The former technical director at Manchester City and chief football officer at Fulham assessed every level of the club and is continuing to make sure there is a link between the academy and the first team. From 16 and above, the club can sign players from anywhere. But those rules will change once Brexit comes into effect, and they will only be able to sign players from abroad who are aged 18 or over. And Burnley have done that this season, signing goalkeeper Lucas Jensen from Denmark and Joel Mbongo, a striker who was released from Hellas Verona, and both have earned new contracts. We have a scouting network which recruits locally from Lancashire, Merseyside, Manchester and West Yorkshire from 6 to 15, said Pepper. It is difficult in terms of the competition. We're not trying to be the next Manchester City or Liverpool. We have to do things slightly differently to the big clubs. The club use their community programme within schools in the area to help recruit, and they also understand the reality that they will not be able to attract the best young prospects, so browse for those in academies like Thompson, who may have been released or allowed to leave. Burnley play 4-4-2 throughout their academy system. It's a formation that is the best for football education, forcing the players to run and work hard as well as be defensively disciplined and creative, with tweaks then implemented. Legs, hearts, minds is a big part of our culture, says Pepper. We want players to play with passion and energy. It sounds quite simple, but a big part of what we do is that work ethic. That ethos is why the club has been quite successful. Before being interviewed by The Athletic, Pepper was making sure that Northern Ireland under-19 manager Stephen Friel, who travelled over to watch Burnley under-18 captain conn-clarke, was being looked after. He uses international call-ups as a marker to show the strides the academy has made. When he arrived, there were 1 or 2 players in action for their countries, but we're at around 25 now over the last 3 years, he said. We've not brought internationals in, it's our programme. They play a lot more football. The academy and club's recognition has gone through the roof, and now some of the lads are getting recognition. The week before, another 2 were added to that list, with under-16 players Keelan Williams and George Walters receiving their first call-ups from Wales. With the number of under-23 players who go out on loan, it allows more under-18 players to join in with first-team training. Thompson, conn-clarke, Kane Patterson and Matty Rain are listed off the top of Pepper's head as he recounts those who've joined in lately for assessment by Sean Dyche. In addition to which, under-23 players Mace Goodrich, Anthony Glennon and Ali Koiki have all been part of a Matchday 18 this season. Every couple of weeks, Burnley hold a technical board meeting, which is attended by Tony Lawlon, the first team coach, during which every age group is discussed and information is fed back to Dyche. The first team staff attend as many youth games as they can. Dyche, his assistant Ian Wowen and Lolan were all in attendance for the win over West Brom in the last round of the Youth Cup. Each day, I will look out of the window and I will see a couple of the under-18s training with the first team, says Pepper. That's the norm here. A lot of the Premier League academies are on different sites or at different ends of the training ground. This is different and very attractive for a player. The script for this video, written by Andy Jones, was originally featured on The Athletic, the best place to read about football online. Whether it's more behind-the-scenes insight, dedicated local reporting about your team, or rich storytelling from around the world, you'll find it all in one place. And if you like today's video, you can read more stories about Burnley or your Premier League club that you won't find anywhere else. So, get a 7-day free trial by visiting theathletic.co.uk/Tifo Football and get 50% off if you sign up for an annual subscription. To support Tifo, support The Athletic. Thanks for watching.